Thank you very much, Madam President. I appreciate the conversation that we're having today. This has been a conversation we've been having for a long time about how to provide more housing for more people who want to live here. Our kids and our grandkids cannot afford to live in Montgomery County, and it's getting increasingly harder for seniors, for working families, and our own county employees whose compensation we just increased. Governor Moore says that we need to build 96,000 units all across Maryland, and we have to do our part here in Montgomery County. And we are. Let's put this in bigger context. We spend $169 million between operating and capital budgets to build subsidized housing. Subsidized housing are what some people call affordable housing, but we have to center it. It's government subsidized housing. We spend $160 million in our budget to help build this much needed housing, which basically goes to families making between $60,000 and $80,000 a year, largely. There's a lot of need, there's a lot of money, and we need to do more. But I really want everyone to realize that our middle class is struggling too. What about a married couple? They're both teachers in MCPS, they both have graduate degrees, and they're both in their third year of teaching. They make a combined $167,000, and yet they cannot afford to live in Montgomery County. Let's add to the list. What about our bus operators, our firefighters, our police officers, our nurses? They are finding it increasingly hard to live in Montgomery County. And so what do? We can't throw our hands up. This body has been working extremely hard to figure this out, and there's no silver bullet. When last year we talked about zoning, there were a lot of people who didn't want any zoning changes. A lot of those same people in their correspondence to me said, instead of making zoning changes, why don't you just convert those vacant office buildings into housing? I got the volumes of emails. You know who you are who emailed those thoughts to us, but they're not happening. And why are they not happening? Because it's not financially viable. So what did we do? We looked at where that's happening. The two largest jurisdictions that are converting the most number of offices to residential are the District of Columbia and Seattle. And so we looked at what they're doing. And what they're doing is offering a 20-year pilot, exactly what we are proposing today, because it's working in those jurisdictions. It might not be producing enough housing, but there is no single solution to produce enough housing. We need to continue providing different policies to tackle different aspects of this housing crisis. This is just one. And I also want to add one other element, because there is some truth-telling that is happening from the dais. It has been noted that there are two buildings in Montgomery County that recently went from office to residential, and that they did not need or receive any tax abatements. One of those buildings, the Elon, does not have any moderately priced dwelling units in it. It was built without any affordable housing. That's not the model we're looking at. And the other building, the Octave, actually received a $4.1 million loan from the county. It was subsidized. The Department of Housing and Community Affairs gave them $4.1 million to complete their project because it was financially infeasible to make that office conversion. Full stop. That's what we're talking about. In order to do these projects, they need some level of assistance. Just like we provide assistance to biotech and life sciences companies to move to Montgomery County, just like we provide assistance for Fortune 500 companies like Marriott to stay in Montgomery County, if we want to prioritize housing, we need to help home builders. And yes, there will be 17.5% MPDUs. And yes, we will revisit it in 10 years. And yes, we're the legislative branch. We can revisit this whenever we want. Once we start building more housing, let's revisit it. We should check and see how well it's doing. And if it's not doing well, we can abandon the program. We are the lawmakers. This is an important conversation. We have to do something because the Montgomery County that we currently live in, people cannot afford. And if there's one thing that we know, the best way to build housing that is affordable is by building more housing. Thank you, Madam President.